start that. Okay, so here's question 1. You should always have your work in front of you so you can make annotations. It's non-calculated word problem challenge, but it's effectively focusing on ratio. So here we go. Here's question 1. I don't know why kids got confused with this, but you did. There you go, I can see all of it now. A bit bigger. That'll do. Some got completely confused. Don't know why. Each shelf is 0.72 meters long, so I changed that into 720 millimeters. Each book is 30 millimeters wide, so I left it to compare millimeters with millimeters. I've got 50 books to try and put on the shelves, which means 25 books per shelf. You know they're identical shelves because it says each shelf is so long, which means each shelf will have an identical amount of space left into which to put books or something else. So I'm going to try and fit 25 books on this shelf. So 25 times 30, because each book has a width of 30 millimeters, comes to 750 millimeters. I need 750 millimeters to get 25 books in there and the other 25 books underneath in the lower shelf. So the answer is no, but you must give the reason for it. So there we go. I went 25 times 30, 750 millimeters for the 25 books, and that's per shelf. So no, it's just not going to fit. This was shown before on a previous exam pro, I'm sure of it, but here it is again. And triangle, square, pentagon have a total area of 48 centimeter squares. The areas of the shapes are in the ratio of their number of sides, which means you should know the number of sides of a triangle, a square, and a pentagon. So this total of 12 relates to the 48 centimeter squares because that's how they've set up the question. So 12 parts is represented by 48 centimeter squares of area in total across the 3 shapes. So one section, one portion of area must be 48 divided by a total of 12. So every portion of area is represented by just 4 centimeter squares. We want the area of the pentagon, the 5-sided shape. So we're going to take our 4 centimeter squares of area and multiply that by 5. Why? Because we're told there is a relationship between the number of sides for each shape and the total area that's available to share out amongst those 3 shapes. So the area of the pentagon is 20 centimeter squares for the reasons outlined just up here. I found this question really challenging, and when I came to mark your ones, I found it challenging to mark because I couldn't always see what your brain was doing. And I think I wrote on somebody's one, it might have been Kian's one. You're going to have to show me how you did this. So Kian, maybe you can speak later. But I've had several different ways of doing this, and I got to the same answer. So here's my reasoning. This is difficult because it's tricky. I have got a jug, and I've got a fifth of the jug with water in it. Now this 250 grams represents that water plus the jug, right? It's not just the fifth of a jug of water. It's the fifth of a jug of water plus the jug. Comes to 250 grams. Got it? So 4/5 full of water plus the jug comes to 550 grams. Is that all right? So my first step was, okay, if I take away 4/5 of water plus jug, and from that I take away 1/5 of the water plus jug, the jug has gone. It's just about the water now. Because I went jug plus 4/5, take away jug plus 1/5 equals no more jug. But I've got 3/5 left of water. And that must be 300 grams. Why? Because 550 take away 250 is 300. So 1/5 of water alone must weigh 100 grams. I thought, now I'm getting somewhere. So that water there, just that little grey bit there, comes to 100 grams. So I put it together in my head. So the jug with 1/5 of water, this storyline here, comes to 250 because they told me so. Jug plus 1/5 of water is 250 grams. So if I take away my fifth of water, which is 100 grams, I have to work out now the weight or mass of the jug, which is 250 grams. Take away the water, it's in it, empty it, glug, 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 glug. I'm left with 150 grams. That's the mass of the jug. That's it. And some of you did it in 2 lines. I couldn't see what you were doing. I just could not see it because I had 2 pages of I had writing here and down here as well, because I did it some really difficult long way. But I got the right answer. But no, I had to rethink this morning, and I did it. 150 grams is the empty jug. I hope you can review the video later so you can get this into your head and then you hear what I'm saying. Yeah, empty jug. There's your answer. Boom. 150 grams. Again, this was done before, I think, but here it is. It's still a ratio, because a fraction is a bit like a ratio, isn't it? So 1/5 of the animals are goats. Oh, so we can say the ratio of 1 to 5. Goats, ... all the animals. So that's why it's linked to ratios here. So on a farm, 1/5 of the animals are goats. Well, I know that 1/5 of 100 is like 20 out of 100. So that's 20%. So straight away I wrote 20 here. And if I've got 25% are sheep, then the rest of them are going to be the cows. Well, 20 plus 25 is 45. So I've got 55% of the animals are the cows. And it does say what fraction of animals are cows. Well, the fraction straight away is going to be 55 out of 100. And they want it simplified, and that gets your final mark. So that'd be 11 out of 20. So I reckon the marks are shown here. Yeah, there's your 4 steps, I'd say. So there it is. So 11 over 20 is the fraction of animals on the farm which are cows. Brilliant.